seemingly this is Resurrection Sunday, okay? So Jesus had been raised from the grave for a few hours, maybe 10 hours. I'm not sure exactly how long. Seemingly, though, this encounter with these two disciples shouldn't even make it in the annals of history. I mean, why would it make it in the Bible? He just comes along on his path and he's walking down the road with these two guys. I mean, what's the big deal? It seems like a much bigger deal that he showed himself to all the apostles or something. But the Bible says that they did not recognize him because God veiled their eyes. But what is recorded in Luke chapter 24 is of paramount importance, I believe, for us as believers today, as the Bible says that Jesus, walking alongside these two apostles or disciples on the road to Emmaus, he takes the Old Testament and he begins to show how that all the Old Testament is about him. It's not that the Old Testament does its thing and then all of a sudden we get up to nowadays and now Jesus comes and well, let's start a New Testament. But Jesus makes it very plain. Everything, all of history is about him. And he would say that later to the disciples as he shows himself to them as well. But it's kind of interesting as Jesus meets with these two disciples, they're going to come in and maybe camp out for the night. They still don't recognize who Jesus is, and then Jesus offers them bread and wine. And it's at that point when he offers those sacraments, their eyes are open. They finally figure out, I mean, wow, we have just walked with the Christ. He is raised from the grave, and here he is, his body and his blood given to us. It's an amazing, amazing chapter in the Bible. And I can't imagine, I mean, can you imagine what it would be like to have Jesus expound the Old Testament? I mean, I love commentaries, and I love that God has gifted great men to help us, to sharpen us with biblical truths that I may never come to on my own, but I cannot imagine a commentary written by Jesus himself on the Old Testament.